Welcome to Steve's Place at 6 p.m. on the 19th of January. And we're looking forward to, I think, a pretty good discussion. I have a host of topics to discuss here. For those who are trying to call in, you need to have a mic and a camera, okay? Um, and you have to use the link, that we provide you to get on the air here. Um, so I want you to check your equipment and that if you can. In the meantime, um, there's a few things we need to discuss quickly, and that would be our YouTube channel. We've been having problems on YouTube due to mentioning of the V word, and it kicked me off for a week or two here, and they're hammering me pretty good. And it's pretty sad because the videos I'm getting hammered on are like I don't know, 30 years old. So I don't see how they can try to make the argument that it's a current issue. Um, but it's going to be interesting with this new regime taking over, I guess, tomorrow. We'll see how that turns out. Um, Especially seeing as how the guy they want to put in charge of health is a total anti-vaxxer. And we'll see what happens there, if they change their policies or not. Anyway, I still will continue putting videos up on YouTube. It may be kind of difficult because I got a few more left I got to put up, but then I got to rewire my computer again because when the repair shop had it, they wired the old drive in and they didn't put the DVD drive on. I need that DVD drive, so that's what I'll be working on this week, I guess. Just one thing after the other. But in the meantime, I can't emphasize enough, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel. We have tons of videos up there. We have over 1,500 videos up there. So what you do is go up to TeslaTech.info. You see a screen like this, and on it, I note that we have the TeslaTech Channel, which is pretty much like an overview. And that's a direct link to our channel. And there you can either join or subscribe. I encourage everyone to subscribe. Even if you join, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. So please subscribe and help us get our subscription numbers up. And while we're on the topic of YouTube, I want to remind everyone to be sure to give us a thumbs up because that helps us with our advertising for one, because we do get a few pennies here and there, for what ads they do put on there. But also it helps us get more people to know about us. And then also we know we have a conference directory and a speaker directory on this screen here. The conference directory, we have all the conferences that we have up there. And if you click on the logo for that conference, it will take you to that conference and list all the speakers of that conference, and you pick out the ones you like. And then we also have a speaker directory, and we're trying to put a direct link to that speaker playlist so that when you hit that, it'll bring up all that speaker's videos that we have online. That's still a work in progress. Like I say, subscribe. It's free. We have like hundreds, over 1,500 of them, and we're growing every day. And then what really helps us is if you actually join. The membership is like $9.99 a month. It helps us. It's unbelievably how much it helps us. It helps keep the lights on so we can keep putting these conferences on. And we're one of the few live conferences still out there, so support us through the YouTube membership. Like I say, you can get it 24/7 anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're in Europe or in Asia. If you have access to the internet and YouTube, you have access to our videos. So please join. And for those who are looking for last year's conference, okay, go to that same website and you see this little banner here. You click on that banner, and that will link you up with HowTube. HowTube is our live feed man with the plan, and we have all the live feed videos available as video on demand as a package. It's $99. One time your entire life. So please go ahead and get last year's conference online. For $99 means you don't have to spend any valuable storage space. And you can also get T-shirts. We have T-shirts down below. You can also order on this page. And if you just want to donate a few bucks here to help us out, there's a donation. That's what the green banner is. And you click on that and you can donate a few bucks, and that really helps us. Okay. Especially now, it's more important than ever. Both of my vehicles are basically in need of work. Um, it appears my pickup truck, on my 97 F-150, seems to have sprung a leak down below, and I'm not sure whether it's oil or radiator or both. So probably working on tomorrow again. Um, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open up the mic then. And let's see. We have one individual here who hasn't connected his micro cam. I can't add him to the stream until he does that. And we have JH. What's your name?
This is John.
Okay. And what can we do for you, John, tonight?
What's that? What color?
Did you have anything you want to speak on particular, or?
I'm just coming to find out what people are talking about. And just one observation I've had is that the flap of videos available since New Year's has really gone down with regard to UAP sightings. I don't know if it's just my feed, but it's like someone's throwing a wet blanket over the coverage. It's like what's going on these days? It's nothing like it was in December. So I just think that's interesting. It reminds me of that Chase Hughes interview with Danny Jones, where Chase Hughes goes over the characteristics of a PSYOP.
Well, I know, like, I try to have 2 videos come online for free every week. Generally, it'll be Monday and Thursdays, okay? And I try to do a couple members only during the week too, you know. And one of the reasons you space them out is to give people a reason to keep coming, up there. I can't speak for anyone else's videos on that, or just the ones that we have, okay? And right now things might slow down a little bit because my computer went down, and I was without a computer for almost 2 weeks. And then when they sent it back, he messed up one of my hard drives, and I need to go back and rewire it so I can bring my DVD back online, so I can convert some DVDs to conferences. One of my big issues though is I'm getting hammered by YouTube, and one I just put up there, and the other one had been up there for a couple of years, and all of a sudden I get hammered by it. So I don't know what's going on there. It seems like if someone don't like what we do, they just claim that we have medical misinformation. And like I say, they should be looking at the stuff I put up there as a record. And I'm going to add Shri up here. Hello, Shri.
Hello, Steve.
And what do you have to add tonight?
One of the things that I've been wondering, I've been listening to Stephen Greer. I'm sure you know him, right? Stephen Greer, and he talks about the alien connection, and you can invoke them, you can do and he has a technique to sort of bring them closer to you, the aliens, people from the other planets. So, what is the level of truth in it? I mean, I just keep wondering. I mean, is there a level of truth? And
What he presents. Uh,
Well, whatever he says, I mean, he says there's, for example, there's many underground manufacturing facilities for the spacecraft in the United States. And I mean, I don't know whether he's ever come and spoken in any of the Tesla techs.
well, people can make a lot of claims on anything they want, but all I can say is just take and um, have him put up or shut up. I mean, if they have this, show us the show us videos or pictures and that. And is the echo coming from you? Anyway,
What?
I thought I had an echo. I don't know what's causing that.
I don't hear any echo. I mean, if there's only two of us. It could be. Let me put myself in mute and see whether there's.
How about now? I don't hear it now. Yeah, Jay, I just took off for a second there because I left the screen. So, okay, you can unmute now, Sri.
Is that okay? There's no echo anymore, or
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that if you have your volume turned up too high, sometimes I get it. But then again, it could be the
let me lower the volume.
if your mic, if I'm speaking, your mic picks it up, it repeats it.
How about that? I mean, I don't hear any echo. I mean, you're hearing an echo.
Yeah, I'm hearing on my end though. Yeah.
Yeah, I could log out and log back in. Maybe that will fix it. Let me try that. I
We're
will.
not hearing echo on the audio, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very annoying if you're hearing it. It's very annoying.
Okay, here's Polygon says aliens are the distraction from all the amazing technology that's being hidden. There's reason Hollywood promotes aliens. They don't promote good things generally. Well, I don't know if I totally agree. I think everything Hollywood does have is a grain of truth to it. Um, I believe the aliens that they're targeting are the wrong ones. Um, sometimes I wonder if we don't have aliens running among us. Okay. And then I have Lee Krennic, and he says, I want the plans for the Kipper motor. If you want the plans, you just need to send me an email to steve@teslatech.info. Right there. And I'll send you a copy of them. Okay.
What is this motor, Steve? What is this motor?
That is a motor this guy Kipper showed me how to build. And it really had a lot of, I don't know, over unity. I mean, it was like a 10 times multiplier. We had 3 amps going in, 30 amps going out across a 12-volt system. Okay. So, and that's how that worked.
Oh, and that one is one of the motors that really works, right?
Well, it worked, but it's very hard to get. And then it works for 3 weeks and then it dies. You know, we can never figure what the 3 weeks are about. And it's extremely difficult to get to work, And I only know about 2 other people that were able to get to work, And one of them died of a heart attack shortly after he announced that. So it's hard to say, But I believe that we actually tapped into the scalar energy field, and we had a dead battery. And so it's like the dead battery went and serves like as an interface between our dimension and the location from where this scalar energy is coming from. And so that's what the Kipper motor is about. I do have plans for that for free. All you do is just send me an email to steve@teslatech.info, and I'll send you back an attachment. It's a PDF and you could try building it yourself. I mean, it has a, a link, you know, it has a link to it and everything. Um, like I say, I was really impressed with this thing. I thought it was, I thought, you know, the guy was just BSing me, but then he comes over my house and he brought one of these little three amp mag motors, you know, you get at a Granger, you know, and we went across, you know, right next door, you know, we had a Napa auto place, went bought their cheapest alternator, and we put this thing together, you know, and I thought the guy was sloppy wiring because, you know, he'd take and pull his wire out like that, you know, just stretch it out, and then I'm going, gee, you know, this guy is not a wiring genius because we only had to go about that far, you know, and so when when you're looking at that, and and he put this thing together, he had like this big bundle of wires, and we hooked it up to the battery, which was dead. Nothing happened, you know. It was trying to, but it was like 9 volts, you know. And so I twisted, you know, the pulley on the alternator to get it going, to overcome the resistance. Okay, and so when I did that, it started going very, very slow, like you know. And so Kipper, you know, he looks at this. Says, this isn't right. And he goes and starts spreading those coils, and then all of a sudden he hit the spot, you know, and then all of a sudden it just started taking it off faster and faster and faster. And I'm going, wow, I can't believe this, you know, because that it should be doing nothing but run that battery down, you know, even more, you know. But it was going faster and faster. Now you can fake meter readings, you can fake everything, but the one thing you can't fake is a torque. You know, it's either going to turn or it's not, you know. And it was just unbelievable. It was almost, at one point, it was almost like the alternator was pulling the magnetic motor. And the incredible thing is, it should get hot, but it wasn't. It was like actually cold, like ice cold,
Wow.
you know. And it charged that battery. I'm looking at that battery, right? And it's just bubbling away, you know, like crazy. And it's like, wow. I said, wow, Kip, we need to put a load on this battery because it's going to explode, you know. And so he went out to his truck. You know, he had a inverter out, you know, out in the. We live out in the outback of Arizona. You know, you have stuff like that, and put the inverter on this thing, and we plugged in 100-watt light bulb in, right? And I mean, damn, the thing went faster. You know, it's just incredible. Thing is, it only lasted for 3 weeks, and then it died. You know, but it's like all of a sudden something happened, and it got hot, real fast. Burn your fingers on it, hot. Okay, and it died. Even in its death throes, it was like a 10 times multiplier. You know, and here you have a question: why do you think most people fail to get the Kipper motor work? It's a matter of I believe it's a couple of things. Number one, we never figure out what the 3-week thing is about. And so the first thing is hitting that right frequency where you're tapping into it. And I know it has to be frequency related because we had coils. And when you have coils, you have capacitance and inductance, and you have associated frequency. So when you're separating the coils, you're changing both the inductance and the frequency. The question is what are you changing it to? It's like he had 4 antennas, which was like each one 6 feet long attached to it, because it's 4 wires. One from each side of the alternator to the battery, and then you have the same thing going from the magnetic motor to the battery. Okay, So it was like you had like a six 4 6 foot antennas there, kind of approximately. And then the fact that he was taking and pushing the wires apart from each other means he was changing the frequency of that motor or that system. And then once he got to the to that, then it worked. Okay. And then Bernadine asked, "Did you read the frequency mark when it marked?" First question. Well, the thing on these frequencies is you're doing this by feel. Okay. So you don't know. You don't know what the frequency is. It's because you're not using an instrument that would read that. In fact, we assume that's a 12-volt system based on the fact that we have a 12-volt alternator, which should be putting out 12 volts. But it could have had a harness working there. We just don't know. Okay, and so when you don't have the proper instrumentation, it's hard to tell. And then when we're trying to figure out, exactly what's going on, these people come in from Canada and they lured him away with promises of millions of dollars, if he'd go work with them. But the deal is that he couldn't work with me. And because of that, he disappeared on me. And the only reason I knew that is because when you live in the outback in Arizona, you have to haul your water, and the best well for water in the county was right behind my my business there. And I just happened to see him at 3 o'clock in the morning getting some water. So anyway, that's kind of what happened with Kipper and that. But we do have the plans and everything. And like I say, people send Steve at TeslaTech.info. Send me an email, and I'll send you back with an attachment. So, okay.
Steve, why do we know why would it run very cold when it was running rather than heating up the motor?
Because all the energy was actually going into coming out as energy. It wasn't. There's no waste.
Oh, yeah, because it's over unities, so there's nothing leaking as heat.
It would have had to be a negative resistance there. Okay. In order for that to happen. But this is why I believe in free energy and alternative energy. I believe. And it's not from, it's because I've been there. I stuck my hand in the wound of Christ, so to speak, okay? And so I'm kind of like the Doubting Thomas kind of guy, and that's the difference between science and religion. Doubting Thomases are scientists.
Yeah.
The rest is just religion, and you have to believe a lot. And
Yeah.
I don't see that really changing. That's the weakness of AI. Now, I've been doing a lot of thinking about AI, and next week we'll probably have Michael come on, and he's trying to use AI to develop his theories. His ether theory. And one thing about AI, he's talk about how it just goes out like you take and write a sentence and it can make it into a paragraph and that. Well, the problem with AI is that it lies. Garbage in, garbage out for starters. Okay. And then it makes up things, and you have like attorneys in that, for instance, that have actually been using this AI stuff to write their briefs and everything. And the problem with that is that you can't trust it. You had to go in and fact check every word that says, and it's kind of easy to tell once you know what to look for. It's easy to tell how much AI there is in this stuff. Like, um, I was reading this article where it's talking about something being an easy prey, and it's Prey is what it should be, but it was spelled Pray. Now that was written by an AI. It's little things like that, when you have words that have can be spelled different based on what they mean. That's what you're looking for, And if you see that, you're reading a computer, basically.
Right.
And so everything in that article is basically suspect. You can't trust it. You know, um, and pronouns. It gets pronouns mixed up all the time. Um, especially when you read things. The use of the pronoun they and them. They use that a lot. Personally, I think people should just stick with the original pronouns he, she, and leave it at that. And if you change your apparatus, well, you're whatever you end up with. This pronoun stuff, it drives people crazy and makes it a gibberish.
Right. Right.
So anyway, that's a big thing. The other thing I noticed is like right now they're trying to find at the archives. Okay, with the archives, they're looking for people who can read cursive. Now, that's a shame because a lot of schools don't teach cursive. We had a handwriting lady come in here a couple months ago. It teaches some things about cursive writing. The thing is when you're writing cursive, there's a direct connection between your brain and the way you write, and when you see that, okay, by changing the way you write, you can change your philosophy or whatever, uh, and I really truly believe in that. I mean, this lady was good, I had just gone through a breakup when I first met her, and she looked at my handwriting and says, "Wow, you have a broken heart," and she could tell that just from the way I wrote, and I told her, she told me how to fix that, and it worked, it worked for me.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, the problem is we don't write now. We don't do any writing anymore, um, and it's leading to a problem where they're not even teaching it in school. And the kids don't even want to learn how to type anymore either. So if you can't print, you can't write. You can't type. The only way you can communicate is through video. We are really dumbing down this country, in ways that is crazy. And we're turning over to these rich guys on top of that. And that's a real problem I see. These rich guys, they may know how to run a business. Okay, they may know how to save money by cutting, but that ain't the business of government. The business of government is for us to do collectively what we can't do individually. Things like build roads, okay, and hospitals and stuff like that. And that's not what they're about. And that's just to rip people off by building like toll roads and that. And I don't think they should be part of that. I don't think that private industry needs to be a part of wars. Okay. And now they're hearing an echo.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, let me turn mine down. So So when you find out, like private companies get involved in activities where they can take and profit from, and yet they want to claim that they're saving the government money. Well, if there's profit involved, the government's not saving any money. You know, they're just paying somebody to, you know, to charge you. You know, and like when I was in the army, you had like a KP, kitchen duty, okay, and they'll take about 10 guys out of a couple thousand. And you take about 10 guys there a week, and they go and they peel potatoes or whatever, for kitchen duty. But then they privatized it. They go out and they hire these civilians to do that. But now all of a sudden, you're paying, you know, uh, 3 or 4 kitchen workers, probably about, at least 4. And then you're paying their supervisor, and then you're paying his boss, So you're paying all these people, and the question is where's the savings at? Because you're paying for all this management, which is expensive, plus you're paying the people to actually do the work, and they're usually making about minimum wage. So where's the savings at? How's that saving the government money? Well, that's just a small scale thing. The only reason they would privatize, like in the military and that, is they taken keep the troop count down. Like when you go to war, they want to minimize the number of troops that are actually in the battle. When they report it to the news people and that, the journalists and that. So by bringing in contractors, they don't have to report how many contractors they use. They just have to report, the actual number of troops there. And so it's a scam. It's for deceit, And I see these guys coming in here now who are supposed to reduce the cost of government. I don't see it happening. What I do see is I live on Social Security, and my rent got raised $100, this year, and my Medicare went up, and the give back that the Humana gives to the vets dropped, and so I ended up getting $12 more on my Social Security check. $12 more.
It's a joke.
With that, I can go get me an extra hamburger, at McDonald's or something, and that's how come I'm saying, they try to make everything look, look and seem what is, so that it isn't what it really is. And that's what this whole next 4 years are going to be. But that's why we have our conference, so people can see what this is. See what's going on. Well, here you have Polygon says, I think the privatization of space is about hiding what is going on. I would say yes and no. It is about hiding what's going on. The government it can do a lot more.
Yes, you mentioned the ether. Who was that? I mean, he's talking about the ether.
That would be mine. But here's the thing. Let me get on this privatization of space. What happens here is they're using chemical rockets. Now, I worked on, for AMI, we built the seats for the space shuttle. And I worked with Rockwell. They were like our contractor we worked for. And they had built an extra space shuttle, enough parts for an extra space shuttle. And the FAA refused to allow Rockwell, Lockheed, and Martin Marietta. They wanted to build that extra space shuttle that the government canceled. They wanted to build on their dime, and the government refused to. And that was back in, let me think here. because I was still in college, and that would have been like about an 80, 83, 83, 84 time frame, okay? And they wouldn't let these guys do it back then, okay? But now they're letting these idiots here at SpaceX and that um, go in and build these rockets and that, these chemical rockets. And that only came about after they got rid of the space shuttle, which was, military civilian program, And so once they got rid of the space shuttle, the military did not rejoin NASA's projects. If you notice, you don't hear anything about the military really being involved with NASA anymore. It's because they have their own stuff going on in Vandenberg, for starters, and I believe they're using anti-gravity ships and everything. And when I was in college, our local Air Force recruiter gave me a bunch of posters to hand out, and it was with the Aurora. And so I took the Aurora, took and handed all those posters out, and a couple of weeks later, they come ask me, say, you know those posters we gave you? Do you still have those? I go, no, I gave them all. I said, oh, says, well, those were classified. They weren't supposed to put that out, because that was the Aurora. That was the Air Force space plane they were developing, because they wanted to do a big recruitment, for people like me, double E's, who are just graduating, and that was supposed to be the Air Force of the future. Well, it's here. I know it's here. So they're letting people like Elon Musk and company really screw us, because we don't really need these SpaceX people anymore. Military can handle it off if they wanted to, And I think that our people that we have here online here and in the audience who are working on things like anti-gravity, I encourage you to keep doing that, because even though they may have a form, it's not the end all. And the stuff that we do here in our garages and our basements, and sometimes for alternative companies, I think will end up being, part of the future in the long term, and so I can encourage people to continue getting involved, continue developing our theories, on ether and stuff like that, because we provide a different viewpoint. We're the Galileos of the present, even on the vaccine stuff, I'm getting hammered on, well, what's today's medicine is tomorrow's quackery, and that's I'm really disappointed. The stuff I put out should be considered, at the very least, archive material, So much for that rant. Don't trust people who tell you that they're believe in freedom of speech. Okay. Marco, I'm on the air. I'm on the air. I'm on the air. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, bye.
I can hear you.
Sorry about that. Anyway, this week we're putting focus on this year's conference. Can't believe it's 2025 already. And later on this week, I'll be meeting with the hotel to finalize the conference. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Crown Plaza, depending on how this week goes. It looks like it's going to cost $120 a night for hotels, which is higher than I want it to be. But considering, they've given us a rate of in the 80s, for like 5 or 6 years, and inflation has gone far beyond that. So it's going to be a good price no matter what, and so based on what they come up with and some of the things that we asked for, we'll see how that works out. And but I believe it's going to be at the Crown Plaza. And I think that if people plan ahead, make that commitment now to be there, um, they could fit it in their budget. Um, I raised my prices a little bit, but then I'm running a pretty hefty discounts. I'm running like 35% right now till January 31st. So I encourage people to uh, give us some thought about coming to the conference. Um, at 35%, it's still under $300 for the registration part. And
Right.
which is a good price, and that includes something to eat every night. And then the hotel at the rate we're getting, that will include breakfast. So the only thing that we have to worry about will be lunch, and I'm working at getting something set up to keep it at like $10 for lunch. So I'm working on getting the most bang for our buck. The only thing I can't control is the economy, and how that's going to go, or if we're going to be in a war. Uh, and and speaking of war, I'm looking at the Ukrainians. They have totally turned this war into a Tesla war. Tesla envisioned um, drones, battling drones, and we are there pretty much. Unfortunately, a lot of them are going after people, but in Tesla's ultimate thing, it was like um, countries would have drone armies battling each other, and the human mass wouldn't be affected. Because he felt that humankind would never give up its wars, and I kind of agree with him on that. But the drone aspects, it's there. The problem is that this is the cutting edge of stuff. It's kind of like one of the reasons the Civil War was so bloody is because you had Revolutionary War tactics where you have lines lined up and walk across a field, combined with emerging modern rifles in that. We had rifles that could fire, rapid fire rifles in that, and the machine gun came out, and it got worse with World War One. And World War Two, things are a lot different. So I'm looking at that. I'm just going, wow. And now you see the drones are going to where they have to have wires attached to them because you can detect radio signals in that. But enough on that. We have 7P here. And he asks, is that the same hotel? I would just say at this time it's more than likely. And I should know more by this time next week. And hopefully, like I say, I kind of like it at the Crown Plaza. I know I know the layout. I know where all their plugins, their equipment's pretty good as far as I get the internet and that goes. So yeah, it's a pretty safe bet. It's going to be at the same hotel. If not, I will have a hotel that has the same level of service, if not better, at less price. Like I say, I'm constantly looking for the best deal. Are you going to be coming, Sri? Are you going to be coming to the conference?
Yes, I'm planning to. I think I'd love to come there because there's so much knowledge and so much you learn, especially in the interaction, and also you get exposed to some of the vendors, the exhibits.
Well, we got some. I'm starting to put together a speaker list. You can see what I've come up with so far. I just put about a half dozen up there, and I'm getting to feel my way around it. One of the people I hope to get will be Ilana Freeland, and she's into Short's book on geoengineering, transhumanism, and I think that's a very apt topic for today.
Okay.
And you can find this list up on the website, TeslaTech.info. And Gerald Pollock, we're planning to have him there. Paul Harris, Robert Grenier, then we have Thorsten and Maury King, and that's who I've just got going. You know, so and I just got started. I got about half of the, no, not even half of this there. So there you go. This is for you. We can go to Roswell again, Shree, and maybe see some UAPs.
Oh yeah, yes, Tim.
So
Yeah, my good friend, we went to Roswell together, and it was really a very good trip. And he calls himself Polygon. Okay, I didn't recognize him. Yeah, we drove to Roswell together and stayed there one night.
yeah, I hope to get some more people there this year. And we will be doing uh, the live stream. Um, the early people sign up for stuff, the better it is. It helps us out to do our planning in that. People who do sign up for the live stream, well, I believe that they'll probably do it the same way they did last year, where it's available forever. So um, you can't lose.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Even $120 a night, I think is a good deal in
yeah, $120 a
usually
night,
the hotel prices these days. I think it's a pretty
and
good deal.
and then with the 35% discount I'm having, it's like you figure about $270. You have to sign up for the conference if you do it before the end of the month. Um,
It's very cheap.
and the only
I don't know how
the only
you.
thing that can happen is if there's that would stop this from going is if there's a national crisis like there was with COVID and that. But even then, we just push everything back a year, and continue on, Um, but we can't live in fear, and we can't stop living. We just got to keep doing what we do. Now it's
Exactly.
more important than ever to get these ideas out there. And given the age of censorship, unfortunately, we have all these billionaires trying to run the government. That's gonna what a fiasco. Um, but and they can censor us at any time on YouTube and everything. But the one thing um, they can't do is they can't censor people at the conference. When you're sitting there eating
Yeah,
lunch or supper with somebody or breakfast, uh, they can't get involved in your conversation and censor you. You know,
exactly.
so it's my answer to censorship is to keep doing these conferences live. Plus, it's our answer to getting people involved in this. Um, I mean, you can read all the stuff on the internet, but you really don't have a feel for it unless you actually are doing it, or you can, pick up a device that someone else has built, and see it, But seeing it on the screen isn't really the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I
and here you
was.
go. This guy here, Polygon, said, "Have you heard of the Ebner effect? He treated seeds, fish, eggs with high voltage electrostatic field. This resulted in primordial plant fish, healthy, fast growing." But I never heard of that as the Ebner effect. I've read Robert Becker's book where he's done work with fields and everything. Electricity does affect it. And in space, what they do is they have a trickle voltage going, in these spacesuits. Um, so the calcium will stay attached to the astronaut, so separate. Um, so electricity does affect everything. Um, and that's all I can think of. Anyway, I think tonight, it's going to be a short night unless you got something else or anybody else has anything out there. I'll get back with you guys next week then. Hopefully next week Mike will be here. I was gonna. The only reason I didn't have him tonight is because I wasn't sure they were gonna let me broadcast on YouTube. And I still have to keep YouTube, even though they have their real stringent censorship policies, because YouTube is bigger than anyone else out there, and we get the word out to more people than we could otherwise. So anyway, here Old Man Bills says, I did resonance between coils with no wires. Okay. And he got a breakout. I'm not quite sure what exactly what it means, but Tesla did a lot of that. He built his coils. If you look in his Colorado Springs lab at the pictures, a lot of the coils he have weren't connected, and one would make would force induction on the other one. He says got breakout on 3 coils. Okay, Old Man Builds. Anyway, perhaps Old Man Builds would like to get hold of me next week, and Steve at TeslaTech.info. Maybe we can have him come on here and do a talk on his coils. Anyway, with that, I'm going to call it a night.
Yep.
Hope to
Great.
see you all
Thank you.
guys next week.
Thank you so much.
And next week we'll have the AI people. There you go. I also mad mud conductor at 2.5 feet. Not quite sure what he's trying to say there. Mad mud.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't.
And then probably as the Old Man Bills would be a great guest. I agree. I think he would be, no? The Lee Clinic not listed in the speaker directory. Okay, using Tesla's OWE. Right down the center, make the fields flip. His code energy. Okay. So TeslaTech maybe incite the guides. Oh, must be invite the guides from alchemical science. Huh. Okay.
All right, so we're done for today.
Yeah, I'm going to be done for the day, and I'm going to call it a day, and I'll see you all next week. And
Night.
And just want to remind everyone to sign up for the YouTube. Okay? And I'll see you all next week. Yeah.